Mr. Newby here. Today we're going to talk about general safety guidelines. Those are rules that you follow while working in a shop environment. They're not specific to any one machine. They may have to do with that machine, but they may not. But it's just rules that you need to understand and follow while working out here so everybody will be safe. So the first rule we're going to talk about is ask your teacher to approve all work and setups before you do it. So if you're out here in the shop and you're supposed to be working on your box, this is what you're supposed to be working on, not a birdhouse or some other piece of wood. When you're working in the shop, if you have any doubts, ask the teacher. Don't always depend on advice from another student. Report any accidents or injuries you might have in the shop immediately to your teacher. It doesn't matter how small they are. They can lead to other issues. You may think you're all right, get a little splinter under your thumb, pull it out, and say, oh, I'm good. Then you go home and it gets infected, it swells up. Anytime we enter the shop, we need to wear suitable eye protection. My glasses have these side shields on them that protect stuff from coming in on the side. The safety glasses that you guys will be wearing are wraparound glasses, so they protect you. But anytime we come into the shop and machines are being used, we need to wear our safety glasses. When working in the shop, you have to remember that baggy or loose clothing can get caught in equipment. Equipment have a lot of things that turn. This turns, other parts that turn, and anything loose or baggy that gets caught in that can get wrapped up and pull you into a machine. Long hair can also get caught in equipment, so you need to be aware of that. Anything that is shoulder length or longer needs to be pulled back in a scrunchie behind your head, nothing in front of you. When you come up to a machine to use it, you want to make sure that it's clear and free of all tools and scrap pieces of wood. So if you came up to use a table saw and there was a scrap piece of wood there, you would not start using it while that wood's there. It can get pushed into the blade, knocked off the table, can cause other problems. So all stuff should be stored, away from the work area. You don't want any tools. You have tools in here, sitting here. Everything should be over here. Your papers, your plans, everything should be on this side for this machine. And for other machines, you want to keep your stuff away from the work area. When we're working out here in the shop, only one person at a time on a machine. All these machines are designed for one person to use at a time, not two people. So you need to back up and give that person their space. Also, when we're working out in the shop, the operator of a machine needs space to work. So some machines have yellow lines on the floor around them to remind you that they need space and you need to back up and give them that space to work. When you're out here working in the shop, do not come up to and start talking to someone who is operating a machine. If they're using a machine, you don't talk to them until they're done, then you can talk to them. So remember, do not talk to or distract anyone using equipment. If you come up and see someone doing something, operating a machine incorrectly, and you know they're not doing it right, you should try to stop them nicely. Don't be rude about it. And then come and let me know so I can come over and see what they're doing and help correct the action. Because safety is everybody's responsibility, and we have to look out for each other. We also never throw anything in the shop, okay? Immediate step if I see you throwing stuff in the shop. It's not safe, and you hit someone, or there'll be stuff on the ground that someone could roll an ankle, twist their ankle on. So when you're using a machine and you have little pieces left over, we don't throw them. Okay, we just drop them in to where they belong. Another safety rule we must follow is we do not remove our scrap pieces after we make a cut until the machine has come to a complete stop. So you want to make sure the machine is completely stopped, nothing's turning, then you may reach in and remove those scrap pieces. When carrying long pieces of wood in the shop, you want to ask for help. The way I'm doing this, one small turn is going to cause the ends to swing 2 or 3 feet. It can cause an injury, hit someone while they're using machinery, damage something, knock something off. So when carrying long pieces of wood, it's better to have someone on both ends and help maneuver it through the shop. Also, when working in the shop, you want to keep the floor clear of all tools and wood scraps. So if you're walking through the shop and you see a piece of wood on the floor, take the few seconds it takes to pick that up and throw it away. We want to wipe up any liquid spills out here in the shop immediately to avoid a slip and fall. We should not have liquid out here. We do have a sink here where we can wash our hands, clean up after class. If water gets on the floor, we want to clean that up so no one slips and falls here. When working in a finish room and you're staining your projects, when you're done you have rags with stain on them, They need to be placed in the metal containers with the lids tightly on them to keep a fire from happening. So when you're done, we put them into these containers and we want the lid down. Another thing we have to look out for is hazards in the shop. So immediately report any hazard you see in the shop. Something that's not necessarily a student doing something wrong, but maybe it's a stack of lumber or wood that might look like it's going to fall over and could hurt someone or damage something. Maybe it's smoke coming out of a machine, sparks, a funny noise. Anything like that that you see or hear, you need to let the teacher know so we can take care of it. When cutting with a sharp tool such as a chisel, utility knife, we always cut away from us. And we don't want to cut towards another student either, so if someone's in the way, you ask them to move. The chisel is considered one of the most dangerous hand tools in the wood lab, and you don't want to use it improperly. So we always cut away from us. We're cutting on this, we go that direction, not towards you. You would not do this, that's very dangerous. If you're going to use this, you go to the side like that, okay? Utility knives, very sharp, always cut to the side or away from you. You also want to make sure if you're working with a partner and have someone else, you're not cutting towards them. That's dangerous also. Always cut away from them. Another guideline we want to follow when working in the shop with hand tools, if we need to pass this to someone asks if they can borrow the chisel or something, you always pass it handle side first. Don't pass it like this because they're reaching into a sharp object. You guys were all taught how to pass scissors in grammar school. So we always do scissors, handle first, point away from them. Same thing with our sharp tools. When you're passing it to another student, handle side first. Also, we never want to use any tools or equipment that have not been tested on or demonstrated to. For example, this machine. You probably have no clue what this does. You don't come up, grab a board, start pushing buttons, turning stuff on, trying to figure out what it does. If you've not been safety tested on it, demonstrated on it, you do not use it in the shop.